from the NFC. I'll be back at halftime, but first let's get you downtown to Camping World Stadium. Standing by our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Straight ahead, bragging rights on the line in the 46th meeting of the AFC and the NFC in the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl game. As always, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, Rams and Patriots still a week away. We'll touch on that later. But as Coach said, the AFC coming in here on a 2-game win streak.
And I love the fact that it's back to AFC versus NFC. We had that little time frame with captain's picks, and there was no side. I didn't like that. So let's see if the NFC can get into it. Drew Brees will be there.
Welcome to Madden NFL 20. Here you can try the all-new QB1 face of the franchise or enjoy classic Madden with Madden Ultimate Team, franchise, or a quick pickup game in exhibition.
Hello, everyone. It's the coach.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, bragging rights on the line in the 46th meeting of the AFC and the NFC in the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl game. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The NFC offense taking the field, being led in blue by the NFL's all-time passing leader. 12th Pro Bowl nomination for the great QB from New Orleans, Drew Brees.
And you and I both know that this is not easy for him. It's fun to play football at any time, but you know he'd rather be preparing for the Super Bowl and out of his head that may have prevented his Saints from getting there.
Ready? You ready? Check 55. Here we go. Whip.
This is the Rams' Todd Gurley, his third Pro Bowl in 4 seasons. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and it really embraces
pressure, and the AFC gets to him for the sack. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Three and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. To throw is Brees. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep for the AFC, the Jets' Andre Roberts. This is fielded at the 27. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. A first-time Pro Bowler. Here's James Conner of the Steelers. And he stopped immediately there. Aaron Donald, Defensive Player of the Year for the Rams, there on the stop. Time for a check of the starting offensive unit here for the AFC.
It's not often we start a game talking about an offensive lineman, but with Quentin Nelson, I absolutely have to do that. The rookie out of Notre Dame transformed not only an offensive line in 2018, he transformed an offense. In fact, he was the only guard ever named Rookie of the Month, and he did so in October of last year.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Thought they were going to... Force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives him the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. For Patrick Mahomes, what a season he had. First as a full-time starter, he goes over touchdowns and rewarded with his first Pro Bowl.
And think about, if you're in Kansas City, the organization, the team, the city, how well are you set up for future years with that youngster as your quarterback?
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. For Drew Brees, this his 12th Pro Bowl nomination. Though he hasn't played all 12 years, but still, what a career and what a season. And to do it at this age, unbelievable.
Not too bad for a guy who turned 40 the week leading up to the NFC Championship game. He keeps himself in such superb physical condition and still loves everything that goes along with football. He may play till he's 60.
On 2nd down, here's Brees. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you.
And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line.
You see me? They can't stop me out here. Ready? You ready? Check 55, Mike. Been a long day for you.
Now Breeze throwing on second down. To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the score. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. From 13 yards out. And the NFC is in for 6. Great play, but admittedly, the tackling in the Pro Bowl, Charles, not always the best.
I would say that they're not quite as committed to getting a guy on the ground in the Pro Bowl as maybe during the regular season and, of course, in the playoffs. But still, heck of an individual effort there on that run.
Rosas good with the extra point. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it's finished off by an NFC touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The AFC offense making their way back out. Well, we can continue to talk Pro Bowl as we go along, but let's talk a little Super Bowl. Super Bowl 53, 1 week from today over in Atlanta. New England taking on the Rams. Time for your Super Bowl prediction, CD. What do you think?
Well, everyone thinks defense when they think the New England Patriots. But in the time that they've had their head coach and their quarterback, Tom Brady, guess what? They're the #1 offensive team in the NFL. And you know the Rams are high flyers as well. So that tells me that this Super Bowl, low scoring. It's going to be a total anomaly. I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 13-10 final score, going totally opposite what it should be.
Well, I'm going to completely disagree. I see high scoring, maybe 51-44, something like that. The two punters, Johnny Hecker. Oh, the NFC pressure a little too much as they get home for the sack. Now the NFC going to take a timeout, their second, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Tariq Cohen of the Bears back deep for the NFC. Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They got to be.
And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. J.J. Watt able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really give up a sack. They're really almost discrediting their work.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the 2nd half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. The AFC offense now set to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They'll run on first down. It's Connor. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. You look back a few years ago, Charles, when the Pro Bowl did that 3-year experimentation. I know you're a traditionalist. You like AFC versus NFC.
Yes, I do.
But for the games 2014, 15, and 16, they tried something a little different. They held essentially a fantasy draft for players. Year 1, it was Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders as captains. Year 2, Michael Irvin and Chris Carter. And then in year 3, Michael Irvin again matching up against Jerry Rice.
And one common denominator, every single one of those guys with a gold jacket, all of them in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So they didn't ask you and I to be the captains and make the picks. And by the way, the playmaker, Michael Irvin, went 2-0. And you know I heard all about that.
They do go for it. It's Mahomes. And an alley to run. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. A gutsy decision there at this stage in the second half in their own territory, and a decision that they might regret.
Can't wait for the postmortem. You know this.
Now the NFC heading out for their first drive of the second half. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game. Now Breeze lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And this is Ertz with it, right side. 23 yards on the play.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
On first down, it's Gurley. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
So statistically, both of these offenses have a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Breeze to throw on second down. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Breeze now. Ertz over the middle. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And the kick by Rosas is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place, but in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the fourth quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game?
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Khalil Mack picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Hey, 15.
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the AFC with the football as we welcome you back. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. Throwing now is Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. Thank goodness, that means this next drive is going to begin first and goal already at the 5-yard line. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
He was looking for Adam Thielen there. That'll bring up second down.
Brandon, some of those windows that throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I think about it being 4-down territory. I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the fourth.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Back out is the AFC offense. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
We'll see if they go back. And he cannot get rid of it. The NFC getting in there for the sack. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Going to need better protection here. Third and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their second, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee.
It's a loss of 1. Brings up second.
So, Charles, a victory for the NFC. Final thoughts on this Pro Bowl?
We had some fun, didn't we?
Absolutely.
A lot of excitement, some big plays.
Feel like just wanna be her, for your mom to your pop to the beat to the bird, man. Cut right off on the curb, like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my whole team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like blah. Yeah, and it feel like.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Straight ahead, bragging rights on the line in the 46th meeting of the AFC and the NFC in the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl game. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready, 95-56.
Coming to you, coming to you.
Breeze now on first down. And he will find his Saints teammate Michael Thomas complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Breeze to his Saints teammate Thomas for the NFC first. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes your game plan for that offensively, you want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally, and then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
We mentioned the history of this game, the Pro Bowl. Of course, for many folks our age, the Pro Bowl always meant a trip to Hawaii. You know, they held it there from 80 till 09, and again for a handful of years in this decade before the last 3 being here in Orlando.
And there's something to be said, no doubt about it, for getting to go to Hawaii. Imagine being named a Pro Bowler and going home and telling your family, we're headed to Hawaii for a vacation. But think about going to Orlando, especially if you've got kids. All the theme parks, all the great things to do, plus not nearly as long a flight no matter where you come from in the United States. I think it's a big deal and a good thing to have it here in Orlando.
Gun now for Breeze. He completes it to Julio.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not going to lollipop it in the middle of the field. Bad things usually happen. It takes a strong one.
And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football. Well, no surprise there. Extremely reliable during the regular season of Pro Bowl.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down. When you think about the history of this Pro Bowl game, there was an all-star game going all the way back to 1939, but it officially became called the Pro Bowl in, I think, 1951.
Exactly.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
Check 15, check 15. Hey, one set, check right, 54.
Here we go, 4th down, Mahomes. And going deep for Hill, and they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Breeze now on 1st down. And it'll be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. So possession changes hands on the final play of the 1st quarter. 3-0 is our score. The NFL on EA Sports continues right after this message. Now Mahomes. Caught left side Hopkins. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. Here's a carry for James Conner of the Steelers.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front, so when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 39 that time.
Well, he was so good throwing the football on 3rd down during the regular season. Why wouldn't it carry over here to the Pro Bowl?
Sometimes that's just who you are, right? If you're good at something during the, as you said, during the regular season, so what if it's with a bunch of guys you're unfamiliar with? It's 3rd down, he finds a way to convert.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They run with Conner. And he is into the end zone for an AFC touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the AFC has taken the lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Myers connects on the PAT. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Here's Breeze to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Breeze going to throw. He gets it to Thomas. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Throwing now is Breeze. And complete to Zach Ertz. Now the NFC going to call the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Again, they'll throw with Breeze. Caught on the right side by Jones. Now the NFC going to take a timeout, their 2nd, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Breeze to throw on 3rd and 1. Well, the pressure gets home, and the AFC comes up with a sack.
Whenever you see a team deciding to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, as a defensive player, my mindset is we've got them now, and that's why they dialed up the blitz and got after them.
But occasionally, you want to pass it on 3rd and 1. I mean, not a lot for sure, but sometimes just to keep the defense guessing.
Oh, no doubt. You want to break tendencies as you go along with a game because you don't want them to just say, oh, 3rd and 1, we know exactly what they're going to do. But in this situation, as an offensive lineman, as a running back, I want to know why I didn't get the football.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the AFC will have it 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The AFC offense making their way back out. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Yellow. 180.
They go play fake. Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Connor. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The AFC offense now set to start this 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves them with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Now, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Give him 5 on the play there, and the AFC will have a 1st down.
We always hear about guys wanting to make plays that quiet a crowd. Yeah, after that one.
Here in the 3rd quarter, they were hoping to get the stop, get the football back. Not the case.
What a completion on a 4th down play.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. Well, we've talked about this game being hosted here in Orlando, and you and I are quite familiar with this place, especially you. You live, what, 20, 25 minutes from here?
Yeah, not bad at all, right? An easy trip to come right to the studios here in Orlando. You, of course, have to give a little bit more effort, a quick flight, then you're here, but you've learned this city quite well. And how about it, the Madden Studios right here in Orlando? That's where Coach and the guys hang out as well.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hopkins. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, He was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. It's the AFC with the football and the lead as we begin quarter number 4. On second down, here's Mahomes. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Mahomes to throw on second down. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And it's scooped up by the NFC. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief, because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done, but they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it, and that's exactly what they did.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Breeze. It's complete. This is Todd Gurley. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
They have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it will...
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Von Miller in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's the NFC with the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On third and long, it's Breeze. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. They'll look to throw.
Now, how about that? Rattled by a big play on the previous snap, they bounce back, and that's exactly what they needed defensively, getting a big play of their own.
Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on third and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And that's picked up by the AFC. And they're going to come up empty here on fourth down. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Mike, check. 59. I know he ain't got it.
On second down now, it's Connor. Now the NFC going to take a timeout, their second, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The AFC thus far on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. There's that man again. It's complete. Now the NFC going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Mahomes going to go on 4th down. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football.
Let's go, baby.
They'll get 19 yards there. And that's an AFC first down. A gutsy decision there going for it on 4th, but they got it, and that likely puts an end to this one.
Indeed, it was gutsy because there's so many other options they probably could have exercised in that situation, but they bet on themselves, and it paid off.
11 more on that one, and another first down.
We got this.
Final score, AFC 7, NFC